Steve Nash. He joins us now. Steve, it's Michael, Don, and Peter. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming on. Now, before we get to the event that you're having, which should be great, let me ask you about the Paul George situation. Are you surprised that he was that honest with Indiana, and do you appreciate that from a player who's saying, listen, I'm not going to sign with you, so you might as well deal me now?
Yeah, I'd imagine that's something that Indiana would appreciate. Obviously, if they're left with less options, it's going to hurt. So I think it was great that he's forthright with them.
Do you think that if the Cavs would get a guy like a Paul George and not have to give up too much, would that close the gap between the Cavs and your team, Golden State?
It always depends, what you have to give up to get someone, obviously, but I think he's a terrific player in today's game. Obviously, versatility at both ends of the floor is at a premium. So, he's I think a terrific piece for a team.
Do you like the fact that you're seeing this type of movement, the way free agency is developed? Forget about the super team stuff, but just the idea that a guy can leave a team the way they do and join other teams and make it difficult sometimes for the smaller market teams to be able to be as competitive.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. I don't know if I have an opinion more than I'm just kind of watching this play out in this cycle, and we'll see how this evolves. I think when I think LeBron went to Miami the first time to play with Wade and Bosh, I think guys took notice and thought that, like LeBron's been on and off the court, he's always been extremely strategic and strong in his move and an empire for himself on and off the court. So I think he inspired and kind of led a lot of people to realize that they hold more power than perhaps we let on in the past. And so I think we're seeing a lot of guys, use that power that they have in order to get to the position that they want or that suits them best. You can't fault anyone for that. And these cycles, obviously will probably at some point, we'll see if there's pushback from the owners and if it's in collective bargaining. But, for right now, it's all within the rules, and we just have to watch it play out.
It's interesting, though, Steve, the super teams thing gets thrown around. It doesn't always work. I mean, when you went to L.A., 2012, 2013, it looked like that was a super team. You, Dwight Howard, Kobe, and Gasol. But it's got to be the right mix at the right time with the right player. So it's not just a slam dunk if you get stars on the team.
For sure. I think that was more of a super old team. It did. I mean, it looked, I think, promising from the outset. And obviously, I had my issues. And Kobe had a great year, but obviously his situation started to get worse as his Achilles came into the picture, and Dwight was on back surgery, and Powell just played a full summer of the Olympics, and so it was just one of those things where you're right, it didn't work, and but we're talking about teams with a lot younger cores that are having a bigger impact and being much more difficult and versatile, especially at the speed and the way we're playing so small these days. You got to have depth and strength and power and ability to be versatile at both ends.
Steve, when you were in Phoenix, your general manager was Steve Kerr, and now he's gone on to be considered one of the best coaches in the league, winning a championship with you in Golden State. Did you see this coming when you got to know him as an executive in Phoenix?
Well, I knew first of all, he's an amazing person, human being. So I think, he's capable of a lot because he is such a great person. He's compassionate, and he's also incredibly intelligent. So I felt like anything was possible for Steve. It was just a matter of what he wanted to do. And I think when the time was right, he started to gain momentum in his mind that he wanted to be a coach and follow through on that kind of. I think that's been a thread that he's always had, but wasn't necessarily ready to commit to it fully. And so when he did that, I had no doubts that he'd be successful. Obviously, it's nice to go to a situation like he went to, which had, kind of two budding superstars and then Draymond coming out of nowhere and, just a team that was set up to make a long, long run. So fantastic opportunity for him, but he's an incredible person, incredibly talented and intelligent, and he'd be successful in whatever he does.
So with Steve Nash, two-time NBA MVP. Now, let's get to the crux of this, Steve. I follow you on Twitter, and almost every single one of your tweets is about soccer. So if you could push a button and have been a major soccer star or the star that you are in basketball, which button would you push?
I want so badly to press that soccer button, but it's I think that'd be pretty I don't know. I don't know if I could do that after all the things that I've been, able to experience and the life I've been able to live. I don't for one second, I don't know, underestimate how fortunate I've been in life and how many things that I've been able to accomplish because of the game of basketball. So, but the truth is I played soccer as a kid, and basketball was the last sport I played, and so I've always loved it and kind of got an opportunity later in my career to play it more and fall back in love with it a little more, and it's just a natural thing for me. So I can't press the soccer button, although those
You're
dreams
tempted.
are probably very, very tempted. But I feel like I owe it to the basketball gods to stay with my hold my hand.
All right, now your 10th year with the Steve Nash Foundation Showdown, which is a uniquely organic charity soccer match. So tell us what this is about.
Well, yeah, it is our 10th year, which is something we're extremely proud of. It's in the Lower East Side at Sarah D. Roosevelt Park. This year's will be Wednesday at 6 p.m. The Fan Fest, I think, starts at 4 p.m. It's Wednesday the 21st, the day before the NBA draft. And what we've done is there's just a little 7-a-side field, chain link fence that you'll see around the city, and we've had NBA players and international soccer stars play a game there that's free for the public to come up, and so kids and people in that neighborhood get to come and see some of the best basketball and soccer players from around the world. So it's always a fun and unique event, and for us to have it go 10 years has been something we're really proud of.
Now, you had Kevin Durant there at one point. Is he too big now to come this year?
He might be too busy now that he's on the celebratory tour, but he was kind enough to come last year. But I think this year we're going to have Chris Paul and Joel Embiid come out, and depending on free agency and their health situations, I think they'll probably coach. But those guys will be out there. J.J. Redick, Jeremy Lin, and then some soccer guys from all over the world will be coming out. So it's going to be a fantastic event, and hopefully everyone can come out and meet or see some of these people that they only see on TV.
Just looking at your Twitter, I'm looking at a video you flying around on skates in Vancouver. Looks like you're doing a pretty good job. What kind of hockey player were you when you grew up?
Really good. I was a good little youth hockey player, but that's about as far as it went. I loved, as all kids in Canada, we grew up playing street hockey and obviously playing minor hockey and loved the sport. But when I turned 13, I fell in love with basketball and was at a new school with a bunch of new friends that loved the game, and that was kind of it. I left soccer and hockey behind for a while, but it's a great sport, and obviously I have great memories of playing as a kid.
You know what you're like? You're like the guy who has the perfect wife, and you just dream about other wives. I mean, you have this great career in the NBA, and you've got hockey on your mind, you've got soccer on your mind, and you've got just a beautiful wife in the NBA. I feel for you, Steve.
Yeah, I think I'm lucky enough now that I can, I just love sports and I get a chance to, my back's just good enough to play kind of like pick-up sports. So I feel lucky that it could have been a lot worse, and I'm in a position where I can enjoy all those other sports while I was so driven and focused on basketball for, kind of almost 30 years there from the time I was 13 to 40. So I'm lucky. I'm a really lucky guy. You're right. And I definitely don't want to look down upon my wife. And, but I do get a chance to, play and hang out and have fun and enjoy those other games as well.
Well, let me give the information, Steve. If people want to get involved, it's this Wednesday, June 21st. As Steve said, the public event starts at 4 p.m. at Sarah D. Roosevelt Park in the East Village. For on-field VIP tickets and information, or if you'd like to donate, just go to stevenash.org/showdown. It's a great thing that Steve does every year. And again, Wednesday is the 10th year that he's done it, which is outstanding. Before I let you go, I got to ask you this one thing, because you were so great at your position. In New York, we're obsessed here. At least the president of the Knicks is obsessed with running a triangle. Can that still work in the NBA? Would you be able to run a triangle?
It's a really tough question. I don't know that I would have been a great triangle point guard. I was kind of more of a playmaker and kind of read and react and be creative and just, I don't know, play the game. So I don't know that I would have fit great in the triangle. I think good players can figure it out, and it's a great offense. In today's day and age, The set is the set. I think that it can be adapted to, but the way the game's played, at the pace it's played, and the way, big guys are struggling to have an impact that they used to have. And I think the triangle in many ways is built for big guys. So there are some contradictions there, but, I would never want to downplay the success that offense has had and potentially could have if the right pieces were involved. But I think it comes down to personnel, personally.
Steve, good luck with the event. We thank you for popping on.
Thanks for having me, guys.